Welcome back to the Gemini channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I'd like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take time, a lot more time actually, to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play it as karmic themes. This will allow you to understand why a person's doing what they're doing. Really important when you're dealing with people that create a lot of illusions because they have a lot of spiritual blocks. And again, that comes out within their character. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out. And there's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. We're going to use my deck, the Psychic Soul Healer Oracle deck. See how pretty these cards are. I'm in love with these cards, how they came out nice and big. Great for meditation and reflection practices, for psychic development, as well as over 100 different shadow healing exercises. And that include reframing exercises and other clinical exercises, not just spiritual exercises. And it's just a great workbook. Like, there's like over 30 something like oracle spreads in the beginning of the workbook. So you can do everything from break family karma, ancestral karma, to working with your chakras. I mean, it's a great system, I think, anyway. All right. Let's see what the word of the video is. The word of the video is vanity. Vanity. So someone cares a lot about what they look like. Someone, I feel like you have always been connected to someone that had a big ego, but I feel like you really thought that their life was good, and that's why they were that way. And I feel like they're vain, but they're vain because they don't really like what their life looks like. I feel like this person wouldn't let you get close, and they don't let people get close because they care a lot about what things look like. Again, their persona, not just what they look like, but they definitely care about what they look like, because I feel like they're always able to have like a few people on the back burner. People find them very attractive. So that's almost like their ace in the hole, where, how this person feels about themselves. Well, it's again, that's not really, what they would bring to the table aside from a little bit of passion, not that much. It's again because this person is shallow. So this is the underlying energy that you're dealing with. So the person that's connected to you. So let's see what they did. Aloof. Again, they acted like they didn't care. Not getting involved, like completely protecting their heart and thinking that you would be unaware of actually how they were treating you. But I feel like they're unaware of really how they come across. And then I do feel like when you did tell them, they didn't listen, but the reason why is because they were in denial about this connection. They wanted to act like they wanted to downplay the connection. So they were like pretending to be in denial about the connection and figuring that that would make you really consumed in them, because you would say, well, I know what I feel. And sometimes you're nice to me. Sometimes you're not nice to me. You act like you don't care sometimes, but I know what I feel. That would again keep you more focused on them to hopefully give them more. It's like a childish high school game. That's what it feels like. I'm going to give you less because I really don't want you to see who I am. I can't have you this close up. However, I'm going to appear really desirable. I'm going to appear like I have a lot of options. Yes, we have a connection, but I'm not going to validate that connection to you. I'm not even going to feed that connection. So, because I know what you know, and I also know that you have feelings for me and that I should actually give to you, but I'm going to hold back because I figured that possibly you'll give me without me having to give to you. Again, like I feel like this there's a lot of uncertainty in this connection. And because there's a lot of uncertainty, you have major trust issues now. And the thing is that if there's love here and this person would put the effort in, it could rebuild. However, there's a sense that you don't think that this person's going to do that. It's like they almost feel like because of the history that you and them have, and you could say I wasn't really in their life that long, but you were the most of a real connection because you made it real. So again, the history, so it could be like a year, but it could be a long time too, that the history of the connection, they don't really need to do anything. This is who this person is, where they're in denial of what they would need to do, of how bad that they damaged the connection. And that's because they're in denial about how they come across. They don't really pay attention. This is, you're dealing with someone that's not really awake. They're so, and I say that because they're always strategizing. Someone that wants you to be consumed in them, they're putting a lot of effort in creating that dynamic so that that happens, so that they think that that'll happen because that's what has happened in the past for them. So again, I just feel like, you walked away, like, and that's the thing, like you had like the epiphany of, like of being like, I don't really want to be connected to somebody that wants to give me nothing. And I feel like that this person, as you had that epiphany of, I want to disconnect, like whatever has had me hooked to you, it's not working for me. So you disconnected. And when you disconnected, this person had epiphany about you, that they wanted a renewal, that they also needed to dismantle old ways. I feel like you needed to dismantle being connected to people that didn't value you. You needed to be dismantle way of being like, well, I need to like prove myself, for you to validate me, where and give people second and third and fourth chances. I need to be a good person. So again, a lot of outdated ways. And I feel like this person needed to see what was important. And once you walked away and disconnected, because you're saying I'm the one that's actually keeping myself connected because this person's not giving me anything, then this is what this person had the epiphanies. They realized that you were there the whole time, that you didn't give them anything, that they didn't give you anything. I don't know, did I say that? Anyway, that you didn't give them anything. And because of that, you also didn't give them anything, but you wanted to. You had given them time. And now this person like has ideals to try to like to fix the situation. It's like having lofty, but again, they're not, it's more like wishful thinking that they could really get back to reach you to even after they did everything. This person isn't really realistic because there's a sense that they also don't really want to come back and rehash everything that they did. So, they have this epiphany that you're the one, and really there's a wish, like I said, to have you, but they need to be realistic in their approach. They need to still talk about what they did. And I feel like this is what holds them back. Yeah, because it's almost like you feel like this person already is like, doesn't have good intention. You feel like it's risky to be connected to this person because their reputation is bad. It's because they run around with a lot of different people. It's because you saw how they were. You saw the character. When they thought that you were insignificant and they didn't give you the time and attention and kept you on the back burner, you got to see who this person was. And so it's like, you know, you've seen that this person can put on a poker face and really act as if they care about somebody, and they can also put on the poker face and act like they don't care about you. It's like you don't really know. You just know that in the past there has always been hidden intentions with this person because they haven't committed to anybody. It's and that you've watched it. And so you also know what they would be capable to do to you. And this is why this person knows it's a wishful thinking that they could even get you back after they showed that and then didn't fix it, didn't rectify it. And it wanted you to be consumed by it, like obsessed by it, so that you would create some sort of chaos. No, that's what they're used to dealing with. They're used to dealing with people that are on a low vibration, that chase, control, manipulate to try to dominate, because this person doesn't give anybody anything. They weren't giving anyone anything. So the people that stay in that connection, they're the ones doing all the work. You are not going to do all the work. Understand, this person needs people to do all the work because it feeds their ego. They can say, oh, look how desirable I am. So see, you need to give me more because I don't really need to be with you. So this person is so consumed with needing this to create this ego and this illusion of who they are, that they're not even capable of having a divine union. Understand that they're not. They're too spiritually broken. It's like this person like may feel as if you are like their destiny, but I feel like it's like what you feel is that they're so imbalanced. So you feel as if they're imbalanced, where it's again, this would be too much like passion, but nothing else. It would be too intense, and that's because it becomes more obsessive. So it's like this person may think that that's love. It's not love. It's more like dominance. So this person like focuses a lot on that. They don't focus on the connection. And so there's a sense that you always feel like you need to read between the lines and you don't want to get entangled in it. It's like there's always like, again, hidden meanings because that this person like has not been transparent at all with you. I feel like I said it's been one game pretty much after another, and just because they are saying that they're becoming like different, this person like I feel like because you walked away from them, it's more or less the image in their head of what they perceive that you are, not really who you are, because they haven't given you the time, that space. When a person is not giving you the time and they've ghosted you, it's like said, and you focus on that person, your imagination begins, but that's not who the person is. And so like I said, I feel like this person creates a lot of illusions. They're not grounded in who they are. And then they didn't give you the time. They're not grounded in taking the time to get to know you. So again, in their mind, they know who you are, but it would create a completely entangled, like almost like an entrapment where you feel like you're with the person and it's run a lot on passion, but there's nothing else. And so that makes a really toxic connection. And that's what we see. We see that if this person may have connections and that's the only thing that they bring to the table. That. And so it's all a lot of drama and a lot of passion. That's what this person brings to the table. They don't bring anything else. And so Instead, I feel like that's why you walked away. Like, I mean, we're gonna look at the triggers, but with the attitude like that, you see why. And there was no trust, obviously. And this person also used substances. So you say, well, like, how can they run around with all those different people? How can they live by that ego? How come they don't have a conscience? Because again, they're doing drugs, they're drinking, they're drugging, they're not they're not present in what's happening. And in that they're you feel ignored because they're not present. They're not present in who they are. And so what happens is there's a lack of passion for you over time because you're like, well, you're not giving to me anything emotionally. Like, and you're not there. And now you really saw this person for who they are. And so, like, this person doesn't have conversations with you either. In order for them to actually, like, find out anything, they'll start an argument with you, and so that you'll like soothe them, so that you'll talk to them. So, is again, this is a person that creates a lot of unnecessary drama and to keep people hooked. When really, all this did was it repelled you because you're like, you come in and out of my life, you keep me on the back burner, you throw me breadcrumbs, you didn't give me anything. So it's not like this person, in order for you to stay on the back burner, this person has to give a little bit of breadcrumb here and there. So they might have come in like once every other month, and you talk to them for like 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, but then you never talk to them again. And then they kept you on hold. So they really gave nothing. And, and there was a connection, but this person was too busy, like running around with a lot of other people and drugging and doing whatever, that they weren't even present to this connection at all. They weren't connected to themselves. So let's look and see what they feel now. If they're going to do anything, or because like I said, they were a real low vibration. This got too intense for me, so I ran away from you. Again, this person didn't want to go deep. It's like when things get real, this person like checks out. They're emotionally unavailable. I want to get back together, but I'm afraid. So it's again that I knew it. I knew that these would have some sort of feelings and would want, because I feel like you're the one that cut it. So this person is like feeling abandoned. I couldn't express all of my feelings for you. They didn't express any of their feelings for you. And so again, they have a problem with transparency. They have a problem. They're emotionally not really available. So these intense feelings are just way too much. I feel a connection to you like no other that I've had. And understand, that that's what made them stick around for as long as they did, and what made you stick around for as long as you did. But you got to the point where you're like, I'm not getting anything. You have me on the back burner, making me wait, knowing who I am to you, that I'm a divine counterpart, but you're still going to make me wait. So the disrespect, like, is how you see it. It's like you made me wait. You gave to other people. You did everything. So like there's a sense of your pride now. Like, I don't want to be with someone that did all that. You didn't give to me. Of course, you want to get back together again with me because you weren't fair. I was always that person. That's how you are, Gemini. You're like, you were always that person's person. But they decided, well, I'm not ready to be in a connection, but I'm not going to let you go either. So I'm going to put you on the back burner while I run around with every single other person in front of your face and treat all those people like scum. Like it, because I'm never going to call them again. I'm going to come in, I'm going to lie, I'm going to betray, I'm going to get what I want, and then I'm going to leave. And now you watched all that and you're like, and you think, and you're like, and now you want to come to me? Of course you want to get back together with me because I was always your person. But just because you couldn't express your feelings, you weren't, this is a missed opportunity, is what I'm feeling. I wish we could go back and start all over again. Of course they do, because they wouldn't have done what they've done. So this is where they're at. You left a mark on my heart that I won't forget. So again, you're the one that got away. So it's almost like they wish they could fix things. They know that they can't. So because they know that they can't, they're not even going to come and approach you. They're just going to leave it like that because, like I said, they already know that you're like, you abandoned me. You weren't here. It's like you wanted to date every other person and then come back to me like I was on layaway or something. And you're like, you said, not today, not ever. It's like, I just feel like, no, you want a new life. You just want a new life. Like, there's no more second chances. It's like, because other opportunities are coming in and you don't want to be in that energy. So it's like they ghosted. They shouldn't have done that. They should have ascended. They didn't want to. It's like they wanted to stay in their vibration and not realizing that you were watching them the whole time and they weren't even paying attention to how they looked, which is so crazy. It's like they put you on the back burner knowing that you were going to be watching them almost as if maybe that you would fight for them, become jealous, want to control. That's not what happened. That's who they get involved with. That's who they deal with. That's why they have, intimacy issues and commitment issues. But that's why this connection triggered them because they're like, they have all this baggage due to the fact of how they conduct their relationships and who they get involved with. So here it is, you come along. They never thought that they were going to have feelings. They didn't know that this type of feelings, that there could even be this type of the connection. And here it is, they have this connection, but they're living in like their craziness. And so, this person almost didn't know how to handle this connection because of the way that they conduct their own life. We have to say again, why did you attract this person into your life? Because they're not strong enough to come back and do the right thing. This is what we see. It's like because they know that they already made a mess of the connection and that you would never take them back. They think their pride and their ego is like, I don't need any more rejection, knowing that you don't want to be with me is rejection enough. So first card out is loner. These are your inner child cards. Source, discipline, anchor, sing, suppression. I'm going to pull three more. I'm being told to confusion, frustration, and protection. And then we're going to pull two from this deck, which I'll read first because I think I forgot to read in one of my videos because I wait till the last minute to read it. Okay. The one from this deck. So when we have inner child wounds, what we see when we don't heal those wounds, they continue to play out within our life through different relationships as the karmic theme. And so the karmic theme, we have here protection, suppression, anchor, discipline, source, frustration, confusion, saying, okay, so I feel as if, you did go through trauma and the trauma was suppression. Again, someone keeping your energy down. And I feel like it was the people that were supposed to be giving you protection. that you didn't feel safe with your parents. And that could be because, hey, they had, drug addiction, drinking, just were not reliable. Maybe they promised certain things, but then when the time came, they didn't deliver. Trust will create that. If a parent just needs to show that they're not really trustworthy, that they don't show up for us, it's again, that makes us feel not safe because then we feel like we're all alone by ourselves and that we actually need protection. So the lack of protection, if anything, there was suppression. That you were brought up in an environment that pushed you down, that, dimmed your light, made you feel bad. Suppression could just be done by belittling. It could be done by just a lack of support, just a lack of encouragement. And I say that because, again, what we see here is like a father and like a child. And so that father is really the anchor that connects us to the root chakra. And the root chakra is our connection to the world, connection to not just the world, but Father up in heaven, and our connection to each other, our connection to our physical body, our connection to the world, and how, like, what we're doing, and really all major structures of the physical body that create support. So if we don't feel supported, it's mainly because, well, maybe there was, again, one parent in the house. There was not enough money. There was not enough support. Comes in not just within financial, but we tend to associate that when we're talking about the root chakra, which is what I feel, because you were also suppressed and you didn't feel safe. You felt like you needed protection, which that's, again, a root chakra issue. So, and it happened because there was no, because there was no support. Maybe, again, you were suppressed by a parent that was like, no, you can't pursue your dreams. You can't go to college because you have to help pay for the rent, or you have to, again, so you were suppressed in that way, where your energy needed to go towards survival instead of to thrive within your life, because there was a lack of support. There was a lack of support. And otherwise, how would you get your food, your clothing, your shelter, which, by the way, is what gives us protection? How would you? It's like, I feel like life was difficult because of that, because you didn't have that support, because you didn't feel safe. When we don't feel safe, we're always looking, as children, we're always looking for the shoe to drop. We're always looking for what might happen, what could happen, because we're trying to protect ourselves. And so we think if we know what's going to happen in advance, that we'll protect ourselves, where really we don't realize that that's what we are manifesting. We're manifesting a lot of frustration because what we're manifesting is not what we want. So a lot of confusion happens because, hey, there was no support, there was no guidance, there was no protection. If anything, there was a lot of suppression. And I say that because this card is uncharted waters, that I pulled for this reading, which is like going into new territory that you've never done before. And so but if you didn't have support, you would have lived safe. People that feel like they need to protect themselves, they live safe. Where Spirit says ships in the harbor are nice, but that's not what you're made for. What are you protecting yourself from? It's like Spirit says, there's no fear except for your imagination of fear. That's trained behavior from your childhood where someone kept your energy down, which made you become a loner. And when you're a loner, you have a great connection to source, again, to spirit, because again, you didn't feel safe. And the Spirit says, I live inside of you as a gift of the Holy Spirit. I'm always there. Your support comes from me working through you, working through the environment to bring you people, situations, experiences that change your mind and your heart about who you perceive you are. It's again, that needs to happen. You need to go into these uncharted waters and experience something new altogether, because you'll just recreate the same experience. So you have to be disciplined with yourself. You have to be disciplined enough to be consistent. You also have to use your voice. It's like, again, if you felt like you were suppressed, well, clearly it was because someone kept your energy down. Someone, again, tried to keep you down on an emotional level, right? That's what happened on an emotional level. Someone tried to emotionally manipulate you. So understand that what Spirit's saying is that there was still a lot of spiritual blocks from childhood, from being brought up without an anchor, without, mother, father support. That's what that represents. And getting nurtured emotionally without helping you and cheering you on and giving you direction. That you didn't do that. You were suppressed. Again, didn't make you feel safe. So you didn't feel safe most of the time. And when you're in the survival mind, you're not in the creator mind. You're in a place of, like I said, survival. So your life is frustrating. It's confusing and it's frustrating because you're holding on to like this negative energy. And in order to change it, you really have to go into uncharted waters. That's the only energy that's going to alchemize your situation of how you perceive yourself. And Spirit said, this person was a test. They weren't good enough for you. And Spirit says, it's all about this faithfulness. Commit to your mind, your heart, and your will. Devote your needs to your own soul right now and trust in yourself, in God and the universe, because God and the universe is going to support you. Again, God is the universe, and it works through the vibration of unconditional love. So when you're doing what you love, becoming what you love, losing yourself, well, the universe always conspires to bring you what you need. And the universe always loves an underdog, always the person that really is not going to, be ever foreseen as the winner. And Spirit says, I work my glory through the most broken. So again, to help change the perception of the people tend to project their wounds onto who they perceive is less than them. But understand, when so many people do it, God displays its glory to show the people, again, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And so Spirit says, this is your time. Be faithful to yourself. Be true to yourself. Means alchemize your wounds. Go out into the world and discover new things. Find the things that you love. Be disciplined. But this person, if they were there, it would have taken your time. It grows your energy with your spirit. Still, you can still be that loner, but you will become more and more imbalanced, more and more balanced rather, because once you're interactive in what you love and doing what you love, it's going to connect you to different people. So then it's going to be all about you using your voice to express what you need and to create the balance in your life through becoming your own anchor. So it's like you heal protection. You realize you don't need protection, that the only protection you need is to have a very strong faith that the universe has your back. That as long as you're in alignment with the laws of God, the laws of love, the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, which are all the same thing, then you're in alignment, clearly. I mean, you're in alignment with everything else in the world. And that's what's going to bring people to you. That's what's going to bring those experiences to you. So life isn't going to seem so confusing. And because it's like, now you know what you were doing. You are unconsciously living safe. So you're coming from a place of fear and attracting people to you that, again, would obviously bring more like fear into your life because you're like, who is this person? And, anger, there's only two energies, love and fear, but that anger is fear. Like, why am I attracting this? When really it's because relationships don't need to be frustrating. It's like this person is frustrating because they want to be one way, they want to suppress you. So it's again, just be faithful to who you are, be true to yourself. It's like this person will eventually realize you're the one that got away. I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.